Of course, prostitution still flourishes everywhere today. In a few places, such as here in Nevada, it's been made legal. A recent survey revealed that the majority of men who visit prostitutes are married, and 3/4 of them claimed that their visits actually helped their marriages. Why this may be true is because here there's no risk of forming a new pair bond that will compete with the existing one. So, assuming that safe sex is practiced and there are no health risks, a visit to a prostitute may actually be safer than starting an affair.
Hi.
Hi.
You want to come with me?
You bet.
Just have a seat. Hi.
Hi.
So, what are we going to do here? You've never been here before?
I've never been here before.
Okay, we've got prices that start at, $80, and they just go up from there. The more activity you want, the more expensive it gets.
Do you take, like, Visa or MasterCard?
Yes, Visa, MasterCard, traveler's checks, and cash.
How about if, say, we want to soak in a jacuzzi and say spend about an hour together?
Okay, did you want sex, intercourse?
Oh, yeah, that would be nice.
Okay, if you want to do that, I can give you a massage and stuff. Really relax you. Spend about $1,000. Is that okay with you?
$1,000.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't quite have $1,000.
Well, what do you have? Why don't you
What
tell
are we
me what
looking
you
like
have?
about the $100 range?
$100 range? I'll give you a bath.
Well, there must be a pretty good bath for $100.
Despite the fact that prostitutes may be serving a valuable social function by providing sexual outlets for males who might otherwise embark on more damaging affairs, the professional girls involved have always been treated shabbily by officialdom and pushed to the fringes of society. The reason is not hard to find. Much of the male activity here is secretive and, if discovered, may lead to feelings of betrayal that can have a devastating effect on the family pair bond. Because of this, it's doubtful if prostitution will ever become fully integrated into polite society. Many loving couples find that one way to keep their pair bond strong is to pander to the need for sexual variety, but without turning to new partners. In other words, they are, as it were, unfaithful to one another with one another. Here in Japan, there are special establishments where this is made easy, the famous love hotels, where couples can come for an evening's erotic entertainment in exotic circumstances. They remain faithful to one another, but at the same time indulge their most outlandish fantasies. Earlier cultures have often recognized this need for intense sexual fulfillment, realizing that for human beings, sexual behavior is more than merely procreative. It also serves the important role of keeping the loving couple happily together. It helps to cement the pair bond, and everywhere in the ancient world there's evidence that human sexuality was warmly celebrated. This early temple in India is literally covered in every conceivable sexual posture known to man. Mankind has always been obsessed with sex. I once described the human animal as the sexiest primate alive, and I wasn't being sensational. I was merely being objectively accurate. And it's important to realize that this applies to the human female as much as to the male.
Remind you of that. I've got $20. Give me 21. I hear he's real good with dogs. $40. I got $40. Do I hear 45? I got $42.
All too often, the human female has been told that she should be sexually passive. But happily, this idea is now being widely challenged. Here in the remote town of Talkeetna in Alaska, it's the females who are taking charge of proceedings and placing their bids in a bachelor auction, with the men in question being offered up like sex slaves for a night of pleasure.
They came with money, thank God. I got 85 back here. I got 85 in the back. He's worth it, believe me. It's an adventure with drugs. Just a dance and a beer is worth it with drugs. I've got 85 back there. Do I hear 90? I got 90 up here. I've got $90 up here. $100 right here. I've got $100 for a good cause. I sold him to you $100.
If women are biologically so sexually active, then what about the third possible pattern of love? One woman with several husbands, the state that's called polyandry. The fact is that this is extremely rare. In a study of 849 different cultures, it was discovered in only 4 of them. The most striking examples come from India. There, certain tribes do engage in polyandry, but only in a very special way. What usually happens is that when a man gets married, his wife also becomes the spouse of all his brothers. For the wife, this can mean heavy household duties, and she doesn't even get to choose her husbands. For the men, it means never being sure which is the father of the children. So its unpopularity is not surprising. And there's the difficult question of knowing whether at any particular moment the shared wife is entertaining one of the other husbands. The solution is for each husband to leave his personal calling card in the shape of his walking stick on a rope outside her hut whenever he pays her a conjugal visit, rather like an occupied sign on a toilet door. So, to sum up, the basic human breeding system of monogamy has 3 variations. Adultery, the secret addition of extra partners, polygyny, the official addition of extra females, and polyandry, the official addition of extra males. Each has its own difficulties and problems, but these can be avoided by another, rather drastic alternative. That is, giving up breeding altogether. You can take a vow of celibacy. Centuries ago, for example, you could become a pious knight and set off on the Crusades. These are the present-day representatives of the knights who, 9 centuries ago, set off to destroy the infidel and offer aid to Christian pilgrims. It was a holy crusade, of course, so they had to swear an oath of celibacy. They were European aristocrats who created the ideal of chivalry, and their vow of celibacy removed them from the distractions of family life and helped to focus them single-mindedly on their task.